because I chose the wrong civilization, and this magical genius, pushed by life to the bottom of society. In this world, only the strong survive. Conqueror, known to hunt creatures of darkness. They fight, loot, and protect people. It was certainly a great job, hailed by all as a hero. At a pub, a loud scolding rang out, catching everyone's attention. Crazy bastard. You're telling me to become a shield of galaxy flesh. The person sitting opposite the male lead's name is Jung Gummin, currently working for the Conquest branch. Just yesterday Minzahun received a call from him. After a long period of 7 karmas. I thought I had a good business relationship. Who would have thought that the enemy wanted him to go to the front line? With a shield. While the monsters in the dungeon are immortal. Who would accept playing that way? He didn't want to understand but asked back. Why is there only one job? These brats are lower level than me. Didn't have any trouble finding a job. If Jung Gummin heard that, he would explain it to you, There are very few facilities that offer trusts. For the warrior subclass. Even if it's a guy. High-level conquest no matter what. According to his words. The current mage system is as hot as the price of gold. While warrior. Often slow in handling situations. And there are higher injury rates. So that is not the target audience for customers. Compared to magicians. Able to safely destroy monsters. At long range, the warrior can only stay in front. Received many injuries. Ninja Hun remained silent, unable to refute anything. 11 years ago he achieved a very high score in the Awakening character test, with magic potential up to 97. At that time SEO Ina, the magician, is at the top, currently only reaching the potential threshold of 92. Everyone thought he would follow a magician, but in the end, he turned the car around again, and decided to choose a warrior with 34 potential. Just because magicians at that time had an extremely bad reputation. Yet life is more than rice paper. Over 11 years. Who would have thought that the warrior would be denied? And magicians are most welcome. Just thinking about it makes me angry. It doesn't mean anything in my chest. Jung Min saw that he was still wondering, so she added, I'm planning on finding someone else. But I called you again because I remembered you. That's your condition. It's too late to regret it now. The poor young Ninja Hun had no other choice. I could only nod and accept this terrible business deal. 8 a.m. the next morning. Ninja Hun, according to the sent location. Waiting in front of the tunnel gate. Along with many others. He was depressed and silently blamed his younger brother Gummin. Doing business all the time is spent on rubber bands. Obviously said he would come. Yet it arrived at 0852. I can't even see my toenails. Thinking about this person made him feel sorry. You're just a drank warrior conqueror. While offering Gummin, he is a Class A mage. Anyone who looks at it will know. Admittedly, he is a powerful person. Yet he buried himself in office work at the branch. While he was thinking about life. When it comes to people, my brother runs over to start a conversation. They are of the same warrior class. But he has full armor. While you have nothing but poverty. 2 people stood and talked for a few words. Then the dungeon managers announced that. Only 30 minutes left. Action will begin. Just as planned. Each person in turn walked through the space gate. To enter the desolate and ruined place to confront the flood. Monsters are extremely aggressive. A mage shouted loudly at the vanguard. Raise your shield properly. Stand straight in line. Hey, you guys don't understand what I'm saying. I said keep the formation even if you get killed. Although quite boring. But Ninja Hun. Still have to try to accept this boring job. The battle begins. They are shields whose job is to hinder monsters. And those magicians threw fireballs to burn them. They are from afar. The fire flared up fiercely. As soon as he escaped, he burned the shrimp monsters to ashes. At first, he was worried that he would have a hard time. But, fight alongside the mages of the Meteor Guild. If they can make it this far, then you don't need to worry about losing your life anymore. Time passes. After sweeping away quite a few monsters, then we all decided to rest for a bit. Before fighting the boss, Mr. Myung-ho is next to me. Although the mouth smiled as the words spoke, there was a bit of whining. Aging is scary. I knew it would be like this. Then there will be less mischief. When I was young, I tried my best to level up. It's convenient to ask, did you pick up any valuable items? Because this place is anyway. It's a Class A dungeon. The ninja obeyed and immediately opened his equipment panel. Suddenly a headache came. Makes him extremely uncomfortable. Pass a few seconds. The system suddenly announced that it had stopped operating, and the connection to the player will be temporarily cut off. The ninja was stunned. I don't understand what's going on. Then suddenly someone's voice came to my ears. It told him to follow the light beyond. Nothing else was mentioned. The system keeps failing. It says because of the presence of something mysterious, but cannot start. Ahead. For some reason, Ninja Hun had a lot of light spots appearing. They flicker everywhere like fireflies, like the people around. No one knows or sees it except you. It's leading to a broken door. He was also quite curious. So I quickly told Myung-ho that I would leave for a while, then just follow it to see where it leads. The ACE system is currently turned off. You cannot access the information window. Ninja Hun tries to warm up, but received the notification again. A function has been partially broken. The system is in shift mode. He awakened from the 50-year-old system. ACE has also been following for 17 years. So if you say you're wrong, you're wrong. Speak quickly. Then System ACE. There is a connection to the Asadian gods, like Odin and Thor. It is hypothesized to have its original name, taken from the Ace gods. This is the last bastion of hope for humanity. After being pushed to the brink of extinction, 25 years ago, in the middle of the Pacific Ocean, suddenly an endlessly tall tree grew. It suddenly sprouted one morning, and grew to the point of covering the whole sky. In just 9 days. Follow that. Dozens of disasters and monsters appeared everywhere. Half of humanity has been attacked by monsters. Of those, half went to the altar, because of hunger and disease. But then the first awakened person appeared. Not only handsome, but also holds the power of the gods. Along with that is the ACE system, the strongest weapon, led by humanity's strongest hero, Ninja Hun. I kept walking until I stopped in front of a giant door. He was visibly happy. Ask yourself in your head, could it be a treasure gate? Let's say there's a Class A equipment, where hire appears. Then you will quit your job immediately. Why the hell are you going to work like this? The door was slowly pushed open. Behind that is an extremely large space. There is a round golden pearl placed on it. At this time, the system suddenly sent a notification that the system functions successfully. Half restored. An item has just been added, and asked if he wanted to appraise the item or not. Ninja Hun is truly a lucky prince. Items after being appraised. Then the information immediately appears. This thing is called the Seven Pleasure Eye of Odin, ranked as the only legendary in the world. When equipped, it can allow understanding of tremors, and use magic to disarm or destroy. Bonus cosmic origin skill. Can copy other people's skills, or all magic without chanting. Delicious, the only legendary item in the world. Once it's sold, you don't need to work anymore. I can spend money until I die and it won't be gone. But I think it's a bit sad. When he decided to try it once, before selling, then receive a warning. This is a ninja binding item. Hun cancelled immediately. You'd rather sell it than use it. An awakened person. He was so bored with conquering dungeons. A place of good fortune and tragedy. Just a blink of an eye apart. But before that you need to leave this place. Ninja Hun returned to gather with everyone. He just showed up. Immediately received a warning from the leading mage. The guild will be in a lot of trouble if you continue to act arbitrarily. Next time. I hope there won't be a situation like this again. The ninja Hun bowed his head and apologized sincerely. Well, next time I will be more careful. You follow them. I knew in my heart that this was a dungeon. It is a place without rules. So it would be a bad ending. If you reveal that you are holding a precious item. A whole bunch of people. Preparing for a plan to conquer the boss room. Then the rocks above suddenly collapsed. Falling loudly on everyone's heads. Misa quickly ran to the side to avoid it. Just escaped danger. Then suddenly realized there were poisonous bones. An extremely dangerous bone. With the human body. Myong coughed to cover her mouth and then took the opportunity to talk to him. Jahan, I think we have to leave here quickly. This bone is very dangerous. Ninja Hun also intended to do the same. Unexpectedly, he just turned away. Then this brother was stabbed to death. He was so frightened that he immediately ran away. The loud explosion and poisonous bones appeared at the same time. Then, it was definitely the actions of the assassins in the dungeon. Their target is very likely. It means destroying everyone on the guild side. You are so fed up with this dangerous situation. Ninja Hun stopped walking. Because the person behind was close. A strange weapon with a tip as sharp as an arrow. Connected to a chain. Go straight to your place. The ninja dodged the attack to avoid him being hit. But luckily the wound on his shoulder was not too deep. At this moment, the person in the back suddenly spoke up. I said yes. That we will meet today. I really didn't expect it to be this person. Min Jahan asked directly. Young Gummin, all of this is your doing. He didn't hesitate and nodded in acknowledgement. Not only that, also say clearly, I do everything just because the customer asks for it. Plus there are a lot of people, don't like Meteor Guild, because they despise other guilds. So this happening is not strange at all. The ninja coughed and stared at his opponent. Then ask yourself in your head, is it possible to fight back? But just look at it like that. People will also beat you until you're as bruised as a torn blanket. Then why ask? Young Gummin is a level A mage. One of the geniuses who make up 2 of the country. While you're just a class warrior, it's fine. But it's strange to be able to win. He wanted to avenge his fellow warriors. Especially Mr. Myung-ho. But this situation is impossible. At his last resort, he had no choice but to cower before the enemy. He'll pretend like nothing happened today so. But I haven't finished speaking yet. That magic weapon flew over. The difference in attack ranks between them is too obvious. So he couldn't do anything but avoid it. A cut across his cheek caused red blood to flow out. He turned pale and thought to himself if that phase was a bit slow. Sometimes the end of life is certain. Young Gummin raised his hand forward and said, today's goal. It's not just the guild behind the headband that fits. Stop talking. Countless magic circles were summoned. So many. Logic aimed at the man in front of him. Ninja Hun dodged back and forth. Along with dozens of questions in my head. That someone is targeting you. A person intent on destroying you must be like that. There is no one left but that person. He kept asking if it was my father. Young Gummin was silent for a few seconds. Then he tilted his head back and laughed like a sick man. A moment later, he just nodded and admitted that he was really smart. That's why I like you. Thinking of my deceased mother. Ninja Hun vaguely asked one more question. Winter 5 years ago. That person also committed acts like this. That's right, I didn't expect it. Answer. It was not outside of what he was thinking. That Gummin-like bastard is over here. Still continuing to attack him with logic. At the same time, he also said provocatively, your family is more than the Uchiha clan. In some world, a husband after killing his wife. Still hiring people aggressively. Eliminate your only son. That's really wrong. He continuously let out mockery. And for that, this conversation ends here. Suddenly, I saw the person in front of me muttering something again. In his mouth, he thought he was trembling and begging. Then Min Jahan's whole body was surprised. emitting a huge stream of mana. The ground and space around where he stood, squeezed and deformed, crumbled rocks and dirt everywhere. That atmosphere really makes an A-level magician like Junggumin. Also sweating profusely. I don't dare delay anymore. The move is called Chain Lightning. Activated again. Launches countless magical chains towards the ninja Hun. Failure takes life. Who would have thought that at a critical moment? I thought I was successful, but everything fell apart. Odin's Lost Eyes item has been equipped. Item linked to user. The system has just sent 2 lines of notification. That's also when the ninja Hun swore that today will kill him in the most painful way. Can be copied. The active chain pulling skill has just been activated. Then behind Min Jae-hun's back, immediately many magic circles appeared. Junggumin was dumbfounded. "'Cause I don't dare believe what's going on. Right before my eyes. It's a trick. Took him several years to learn. So what the hell is a low-level warrior doing? Can use it." Fake upgraded versions collide with real products. It was truly a painful confrontation. The chains carrying lightning continuously collided with each other. Creates loud explosions. The situation doesn't look good at all. Junggumin, after a while of running and jumping to avoid, "Wanna drop my pants." Then take the opportunity to shoot a magic bullet at him. Unfortunately, it doesn't work. The time to end it all has come. The ninja Hun immediately launched a blow. Finally respond to the enemy. Logic rushed forward, both ferocious and strong. Junggumin faced her own moves. But there's no way to fight back. Quickly turn on the defensive shield. Who would have thought? Everything is beyond my control. Causing the protector to break. He received a fatal blow. Immediately lay in a heap, barely alive. A huge explosion shook the entire dungeon, followed by dust and scattered rocks and soil. Splash. Junggumin is still alive. It just can't hold out much longer. Ninja Hun step by step approached, after giving him another blow. Then it seems like everything is over. He lay down on the ground. There was nothing left of both physical strength and magic. But tired is tired. The mouth is still full of blame. All day today. For a legendary loot lucky item. But the merit he had accumulated all his life had been used up. Just when the ninja Hun thought he would die here. Then the rescue system appears with a notification line. Once the new operating system is up and running, time will regress. The time that users crave the most. Do you want to start or not? At this point, what else is there to be bored of? Ninja Hun accepts the activation of the new operating system. There was Nanae at the same time. Become the enemy of the almighty supreme Acer. Comes with 2 newly equipped skills. Ninja Hun opened his eyes and jumped up. He wondered what the hell was going on. Position. But as soon as I stared at my hands, then the guidance system appears. It explains it to you. I've gone back in time myself. About the moment I crave the most. Today is June 15th, 2022. The system took him back to 11 years ago, accompanied by a mission. That is to rest until the body recovers to 80. Ninja Hun put everything to the back of his mind. Then go to the table. Learn by yourself. He picked up the desk calendar and crossed out a line of text. In a previous life. Because he did not work properly, he had a poor life. Get married and make a haphazard appointment. This time you won't make that mistake again. Surely you will become a great magician. And find a way to defeat the old man. After hugging my mother and crying for a long time, he put a chopstick of rice in his mouth. But still couldn't help but burst into tears. Ninja's mother. Hun saw that his son today was different from usual. Immediately put down the chopsticks and asked directly, "Is there something wrong?" When he heard the question, he immediately smiled. Hide everything lightly. Then said he was just having a nightmare. Then immediately changed the subject and talked directly to her. That I want to switch to the mage class. Instead of being a warrior as previously claimed. His mother was a bit dumbfounded at first. But after thinking carefully, I happily accepted. She said, I want you to do what you like. Rather than chasing money. Whether it's magic or something else, it doesn't matter. Mom will always support you. It would be better if your mother didn't say anything. The more I talked, the more tears flowed. The sobbing young man quickly raised his hand to wipe it away. Then remind yourself that now is not the time to cry. The man named Min Xian-o is still barely alive there. To be able to defeat a Class A conqueror. Like your old man. Then you still have to get stronger. Passed by for a while. The rest mission is finally over. Ninja Hun, after completing one-handed handstand. He immediately stood in front of his system board and muttered, I still don't know what the nanny system is. But anyway, I have strengths. That is knowing the future. I have a good memory. So now the problem is skills. All metrics and levels are displayed on the dashboard. It all goes back to the beginning. However, the passive skills were fortunately kept. Turns out it's all about skill. There is the name of someone who is followed by the gods. The card is blank. Sent to. When completing the task, rest in your hand. After a while of pondering what to learn and what not to learn, then you've made a decision. Now, perhaps what he needed most was a healing spell. At this time, the magician system is at the bottom of society. However, the conqueror possesses the healing skill. Treated like royalty. He likes to think. If you have that skill, then, no matter where you go, you certainly won't be looked down upon. He is sitting and calculating everything in life. After rebirth. Then my phone had a text message from my childhood best friend, Kim Yu-young, in his previous life. This friend had to die right before his eyes. However, this time he will change that. The main content is swimming among dozens of urging messages. There is a record of the blessed and blessed saint giving a speech on the street. That's why she wanted to invite you along. Go quickly, devil. Friends in shorts are all like that. Won't reply to any messages. When the ninja heard about the saint, he was very happy. You remember her now. A beautiful sister ran out of dipping sauce. Possessing magic represents sacrifice. The right person at the right time. Ninja Hun immediately released a message of agreement. Then just like that, he left the house. After reaching the city center, Yu and Du Dung jostled forever. Then find a nice location to observe. They were very anxious to see that girl. The guild leader of John Flower is a fake therapist. The head is famous all over the world. However, among the people here only you know it well. Next 2 months. She will be caught in a dangerous situation. In a dark dungeon. Ida won the cause of that. It's because of this speech. Woman standing on stage. Bow your head after finishing your speech. Call for courage from conquerors. Ninja Hun and everyone sat below. Everyone is silently listening. He knew what she said was true. The vast majority of awakened people don't want to be a conqueror. Fight monsters. You are also among them. If you don't have to encounter something unexpected, then you sold the item called Odin's Eye. Then sleep with my mountain of money. The speech has ended. Mija Hun teased her friend a few words. Then tell the girl to go back first. As for me, I left because I still had things to deal with. Mija Hun ran in the direction where the group of holy women left. Very fast. Immediately saw her black car. The manager named Park Sus just saw you. Just chase straight away. Sorry. But if you want to give her a gift as a fan, then you can't. Don't be bored and get down to business. Right away I came to meet the grateful EU guild leader. Facing the man who kept saying that he wanted to be chased away. The next voice said Quail. Ninja Hun still kept a cheerful attitude and spoke to him. I know. The guild leader is suffering from an incurable illness. And I know how to cure that disease. Manager Susie's face escaped. Immediately wrinkled to the point of being unsightly. He tightened his grip on his collar and raised his voice. Where did you hear that, brother? What bitch did you hear say? Our guild leader is sick? You was grateful to see how noisy it was outside. Immediately lowered the window and spoke out. Please wait a moment. Can you take responsibility for these words? Ninja Hun replied decisively. I can cure you. Guild leader. Ayu happily silently evaluated for a moment. Finally nodded in acceptance. Then take him with you to another location to discuss. They all went to the same room. Here she doesn't ask too many questions, but straight to the main story. How did you know I was sick? Now let's say Im from the future. I'm afraid that someone will beat me up for my crime. Dad lies ninja. Hun politely refused the question, then said, you will copy her skill called sacrifice, to borrow that same healing power to cure illness. He tried to struggle, but when he refused, he shouted loudly. No need to listen anymore. Do you know what the sacrifice skill is? But say these words. That's the guild master's unique skill. We can't copy that magic. But you're so eager to do that. Ninja Hun knew he had the right idea when he said that. Unique skills are usually inherited level skills, hereditary or inherited from a single individual, while other normal skills rely on the formula to remember. The unique skill doesn't exist, or say it bluntly, cannot be copied, because of the exclusivity of an individual or a family. You know those things, so don't show anger or rebuttal, but just tell him to calm down. You understand what you can do, if you can't do it, so there's no need to follow them all the way here. Basic principles of sacrifice skills. Exactly like its name. The person who inherits this skill is considered as, it is an offering to the gods, so you can't treat yourself. Otherwise, a gap will form in the concept. Sacrifice your life. You is grateful. Ignore the guild member's advice, but nodded in agreement with this. Ninja Hun didn't hesitate any longer. Immediately took out a blank card. Prepare to acquire new skills. At this time, one side emitted a soft yellow light. One side absorbs them. Not long after, the system sends a notification. The sacrifice skill has been activated. He immediately put his hand forward. Then radiate healing energy. To build trust with them. Everyone's eyes opened wide because they were so surprised. He clenched his hands, then said, okay. Now let's get back to treatment. It is clearly stated on the system board. Sacrifice skills. In addition to the effect of creating a therapeutic wave, helps teammates restore vitality and status. Can also be converted into an attack skill, if used on undead monsters like zombies. But that's still not everything he wanted. He made a suggestion. Please become my sponsor. I have great ambitions, but to mature, I realized I needed money and relationships. For the above reasons. So I want the Flower Ion Guild to sponsor me. Think about the benefits you bring. The other party immediately nodded in agreement. However, she still wanted to make a condition. Because this disease is a personal matter. And it has nothing to do with the guild. So what should we do? There is a matter of only providing support without the right to demand it. The first two guys are full. The conversation was not lengthy at all. The loophole is to go straight to the goal right away. She also asked if you want to join this guild. Look at the unbelievable look on the Ninja Hun's face. She also doesn't hide anything, which clearly states that there are some reasons for asking that question. First is the fact that you found out about the guild president. Jianhua is sick. This is confidential information that only very few people know. Second, she has never heard of it. There are people who possess such unique copying skills. Before, it was like strong stitching. Will that be in the future? Maybe someone like you will appear. Just think. There is an infinite probability that you can copy it. It was she who wanted to recruit. Then there's the third thing. Say one short, concise sentence. It's me who's interested in you. Before this invitation, Ninja Hun is not in a hurry to give any answers. In a previous life, after the saint fell into critical condition, the Jianhua guild quickly collapsed. For reasons that are unclear. But whatever. At this moment, they are the strongest guild. If you join and want to develop, then this is a wise choice. Just to be sure, he asked one last question. Agreement between a guild and an immature student, is illegal, which in the end yielded an answer, causing him to freeze. Have you ever heard of priority bargaining rights? Miza Hun in her previous life. Don't forget to mention it again. That character is poorer than poverty. Waste is better than the word waste. Yet now he is placed in the top 5 geniuses. It's truly unbelievable. But there is one thing. Pen SA Chicken died. So there's no need to rush. Instead, treatment is better. The ninja circled around behind the saint and continued. Immediately use the skill that was just copied. Treat her. The golden light shined brightly on him. English Sunda. Before that, he despised this young man. But now my eyes have been opened. A disease that afflicts high-ranking conquerors, or those who dedicate their lives to medicine, can't solve it either. Yet it is being healed. He regrets what he did before. You should bow your head to show repentance. Please take care of our guild president. I will express my sincere apology another time. You have successfully cured the target's illness. The emergency first aid passive skill has increased to level 19. Exactly as the notification just sent. Ninja Hun stopped his actions and said he was grateful. Let's try something. She followed him and walked closer to the window. Then put your hand out in midair. The healing energies immediately took the shape of a butterfly. Butterflies flutter in the wind. The evil disease has completely cured. Ayu Sung-on turned towards him and asked, after possessing this skill, will you accept the same punishment as her? The ninja smiled gently and replied that it would be fine. If that happens, you can cure me. The next day, Ninja Hun asked the guild to help him with something. He was taken to a place by his brother Park Suinza. But according to his words, then the big gate was in front of him. It was the entrance to the low-level dungeon. Belongs to them. He made this request, in essence, because it is part of the pre-planned plan. The Milan Academy he is about to study at. It is a convergence of geniuses fighting each other. If you want to survive there, you only have one option. That is leveling up. Because we discussed it with each other in advance. So Suinza brought some healing items. And supporting tools. He gave him a staff. Then said that this was the guild's spare equipment. And you can use it. Seeing the Ninja Hun preparing to leave, Suinza asked, "Itmiret be anerank dungreon." But going in alone is very dangerous. Is there a reason why you have to go in there alone? The Ninja Hun raised his staff high to evaluate. By the way, answer. I just want to level up a bit. The man held the position of manager of the guild. Mr. Hoa heard that and did not stop him anymore. But give him a teleportation stone. He said, let's use it. Use this in case of danger, because it can teleport you back to the gate. He will immediately be happy if you accept it, because this can be considered a gift. Apologize for his previous rude attitude, as well as saying thank you for curing the disease. Thank you, my dear. The Ninja Hun nodded in thanks, then quickly stepped through the gate to enter the dungeon, according to what you feel. So this is definitely an rank dungeon. But as soon as I entered, everything immediately changed. Countless black arms clung to him. Ninja Hun. Still don't understand what is happening to me. Then the system sends a notification. Because of the system here, the user will be teleported to a special area. Your current location is the land of Deathium. The scene changed to the guild master's place. I'm grateful she's sitting at her desk. Think about a candidate conquering alone. Clear the dungeon. Even if it's a rank, it's still almost impossible. At that moment, there was suddenly a knock on the door from outside. The other person said that he was Park Hannah. Then bring it to the president. My profile is of a young man named Ninja Hun. Ayu gratefully flipped through a few pages and exclaimed in surprise. He's a candidate for the warrior class. So how could he use magic? Ayu-sung, please turn one more page. After seeing the magical potential figure of 97. Then immediately opened his eyes. Because I vaguely understand all the problems. to avoid slipping out of the hands of this genius young man. She quickly took out her phone and called Sun the manager, and advised him, "When will the ninja Hun return from the dungeon? Then let's say that she is ready to sign a contract at any time possible." Dental. It's always convenient to emphasize your desire to check for yourself, because I want to see the talent you possess. At the same time, king of bad luck. Ninja Hun just wants to go to a level dungeon to level up, yet just offered the pitch. Was thrown straight to the graveyard by the system. Has hell level difficulty. So has the buff been kept or will it continue to be buffed? He stood mixed in the strange mist and smoke. Wonder what the hell is going on. Then an arrow flew from nowhere. It luckily flew past his left cheek instead of hitting him. Straight to the head. Oh my god. These are the 9 rights to save, no grandparents can help. Opposite him was a skeleton gunner. After the last attack, he still has no intention of letting go, but prepare to shoot one more shot. The self-healing sacrifice skill is immediately used. The ninja groaned silently in his mouth. Is this a paralyzing poison? This is troublesome. The story doesn't stop there. It's time to visit thousands. So the zombies also started competing to rise from their graves. Not just underground, but even in the air. There are also countless monsters coming to surround. Slowly the gunner's bones dried up. At that moment he shot an arrow towards him. But this time it's not so easy to eat. Ninja Hun accurately caught it. Not only that, it's still easy to break into a few pieces to call you. After calling, I saw your mother calling. Above are the 4 ghosts, and around are skeleton gunners and zombies. Dungeon. This is similar to a world of the dead. Watched over by Loki Pig's daughter. It is a Haihim land. The place is known to be the coldest and darkest. Which new people. If you don't have divine power, it's difficult to attack. Floating, however. If this is really Haihim, then you can take this opportunity to try out your new strength. Sacrifice skills, in addition to supporting and eliminating negative effects, can also be turned into an attack skill. As for the zombie monsters, because of its powerful wide area capabilities, it's called light judgment. A zombie rushed to attack, instead of chanting spells like normal magicians. Then, the ninja Hun decided to hold his magic stick and poke his butt against the wall. After defeating a monster easily, Ninja Hun continued to jump high, then used the staff in combination with the lightning chain. Respond to them, to lure ESP points. Don't miss out on such a good opportunity like this. He rushed towards them. He decided to use his staff to knock the skeleton gunner on the head. As if unexpectedly midway, the object in your hand is so fragile. Break into 2 pieces. He was nostalgic about the attack techniques. Physics recently. I then looked away and asked a question in my head. That the magicians were normal during battle. How do they fight? These monsters keep dying and coming back to life. While the only weapon he has, then it's broken. Can't keep playing anymore. The ninja Hun put his hand forward. Next, activate the sacrifice skill. From passive to active. Countless pillars of yellow light. Bringing holy energy roaring down from above. Beat the corpses to pieces. Wherever the goods come from, send them back there. 1 turn after the first fight. The tired ninja sat on the ground using mana to heal. Everything that happens to you is so coincidental. Now I can't even level up quickly. I'm just afraid. There will be no chance of winning and returning again. Your next location. It is Haihim's killing field. It was clear that he was just a reincarnated level warrior. But it was thrown by the gods above. The difference. How can you fight if the level is this intense? He was discouraged and stopped walking. While planning to use the stone to return home, disaster struck. A powerful stream of mana swept across. Immediately scared the kissing ninja and his face turned pale. The atmosphere became increasingly heavy. He couldn't breathe and fell to his knees. Lost in the fog. He knew something scary was coming. So quickly cover your mouth tightly. And try not to make any noise. But before I could do anything, it came. The boss of the dark dungeon has appeared. Just one evil shadow is enough, causing the system to issue a warning asking him to run quickly, because the level difference between the two sides is extremely dangerous. I think it's boring. Ninja Hun gave a faint smile, then frantically opened the inventory to find the teleportation stone. Run quickly. Anyone can give warranty, but just keep running and then wake up again. But how unlucky, right? Just as he held the teleportation stone in his hand, then he immediately received a bloody slap from the boss. Almost logged out of the server. The stone flew out of his hand. Roll around somewhere. Mana is gradually running out. HP also dropped to nearly 0. Just revived. Not even a few days later I had to confront the boss. Immortal dungeons are acceptable. Can't win. The boss launched another attack at him. Luckily, someone came to the rescue in time. She is Loki's daughter, and the ruler of this place. Large horns on the head accompany a body. There is a rotting half and an angelic half. It is a sign to recognize. Pig just approached. Their location was just told to the boss. This is not allowed. That's what people brought themselves. An important guest. Appointed to be a change maker. His mouth said that, but as soon as he arrived, he immediately criticized him. We thought we were the ones who could create change. We'll kill it. But it turns out you're just a kid. Physically quite normal. The amount of mana available is also impressive. But it's not enough to face the ace gods. Why did Loki choose a brat like you? Be a change maker. Her fingers pressed close to the blood artery on his neck. Ninja Hun is not willing. Being defeated by the gods so easily like this. Plan to take revenge on biological father. The plan to become a magician has not yet been completed. So you don't want it to end like that. Hyo saw the angry eyes of the other person. The two hands clasped tighter and tighter. Her voice threatened that the end of the world was near. If you lose 7 and send us to hell, then I will kill you first. Having said that, he let go and gave him a new chance. The main requirement is to quickly get stronger and hit Black Shadow if you succeed. Then she will give you a special gift. However, it only takes place within July 2nd.
Failure means death.
But what if she finds out that you haven't gotten stronger? Then you will also die. Calculate how you can do it yourself. Withdrawal is the same as when you came here. Countless black hands approached again. Grab the ninja and throw him out of this dungeon. The ninja opened his eyes and woke up. And then suddenly I discovered it. I have returned to the starting point. With a completely intact body. The mission system is right in front of you. Think of that girl. Now he discovered it. She is the goddess who governs death, and is the ruler of one of the 9 realms of Norse mythology. Her presence reminded him of something. That is to become stronger. If not, don't talk about revenge plans. I'm afraid I haven't had time to do anything yet. She's already been uprooted. However, for someone who is not used to fighting, like a magician, and hasn't learned low-level magic like you, looks like it's hard to eat. Ninja Hun took out his phone from his pocket and looked at it. Coincidentally, I saw a message sent by Mr. Sunio. It's clearly written on it. I'm grateful to meet you to talk about the contract. So if you have time, then come see them tomorrow. The Ninja Hun smiled cunningly, then replied that he would come see them, as well as will be very pleased. If the guild helps you with one more thing. The next day, Ninja Hun followed Park Suinza to the meeting place. On the way, he silently judged in his mind. It must be because of them being so impatient. Looked over your information. A person with a magician profession has an innate talent level of 97. Turn this whole world upside down. It's also difficult to find that second person. As for 98, 99, 100, it's bad luck. The door just opened.
Catch your eyes.
She is a fiery and grateful girl, in a pure black reptilian outfit. As soon as she met her, she immediately said you were here. I've been waiting for you forever. The two sides talked to each other for a few words and then went straight. Main story. Ninja Hun said, I also talked to the park manager Sunda. But before signing the contract, I have one condition. Only then can you explain yourself clearly. Because he just changed from warrior to mage. Less than a month. So I'm not familiar with how to use magic. So the conditions for him to sign the contract. Just want the guild chairman to be grateful. Teach yourself magic. Suez was on the side listening to their discussion and remained silent. Right from the start. He knew this kid wasn't simple. In the world of conquerors, there is a great need for trump cards that can be used at all times. Their grateful lover is both an class conqueror. Also the owner of the Flower Ion Guild. Having a quality trump card like this. So what else is there? You gratefully thought for a moment and then agreed. However, if you ask, she will do the same. She said, I want to test your talent. Is it possible? Having said that, he snapped his fingers. Behind her back. Immediately a huge block of mana appeared. I'm grateful that you have to get over it. For someone talented enough to sign such a good contract. Then you must be able to do this. The ninja had beads of sweat on his forehead. Usually mana blocks will be used by mages. At least level B. Used to better understand sensitivity to my mana. And he's just getting his feet wet in the profession. So this is a difficult test. Ninja Hun asked again. It sounds like you're trying to discourage me. The other party heard that and immediately responded. Why should I do that? Even if you are 7 defeated. There won't be any problems with the contract either. As the guild president promised him that. She finished speaking. Immediately go to the manager and ask him to open the gate. Before you entered. Don't forget a few words of encouragement to gain courage. The ninja Hun stood and sighed. It would be humiliating to not go to this point. Finally decided to move forward. Outside Park Suez told his president that. He is feeling quite worried. Like I don't understand. Why did you create such a difficult task? Even though he is a genius. Well, he's just a kid.